Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Desperate Josh Efird sends hopeful message to estranged wife, Pumpkin. Desperate Josh Efird is seemingly sending out a hopeful message to his estranged wife, Lauren Pumpkin Efird. The two filed for divorce on August 1st, 2024, but there have been a lot of unfortunate issues happening along the way. So what message is Josh sending to Pumpkin? Keep reading for more details. When Josh Efird and Lauren Pumpkin Efird split, fans were surprised. They seemed happy and had 4 beautiful children together. More so, they really helped balance one another out after 9 years together and 6 years of marriage. The duo had been together through very hard times. These included Mama June's addiction, and taking in Alana, Honey Boo Boo Thompson, to raise as one of their own. Then in early 2023, Anna Cardwell was diagnosed with stage 4 adrenal carcinoma, and that ripped the family apart. Josh was incredibly worried about Pumpkin and her mental health. Since Josh and Pumpkin split, it has gotten strange. He was allegedly dating a pregnant woman named Keely, whereas Pumpkin started seeing Darren Kitchens. Darren happens to be Josh's cousin, and they may have been together before she split from Josh. More so, the affair could have caused the divorce. It then was revealed that Keely was having Darren's baby, and she and Josh were just close friends. Now Pumpkin and Darren are traveling and flaunting their romance here, there, and everywhere, but it appears Josh is not over it completely. He just reposted a heartbreaking TikTok. This was the first part of the reposted video, and it was just devastating to watch. Fans have been asking about Josh Efird and how Mama June can allow Pumpkin to flaunt her new man. They have even been calling Pumpkin June 2.0. The video ended with this sad message. Though Josh does not make any of his own videos, he does repost a lot, and the last 2 have been heartbreaking. He really cares about his wife and his family, and now from his posts, it feels like that has been ripped from him. Pumpkin has spoken out briefly, saying this was a mutual decision. However, Josh Efird has not said anything yet regarding the split. Mama June also speaks out whenever she has the chance to clarify situations when it may not be her place. Did this rub followers the wrong way? I will not be watching anymore. It seems fake to me after the news that Pumpkin and Josh are divorcing. I cannot imagine either with anyone else. I don't think Keely is a good option for Josh if she doesn't even know who the baby father is. Find someone mature. Josh is too good for that mess. Seems to be anyway. Pumpkin is just like her mother, needs a man to keep her company or be with. Followers also felt June should use punctuation because this may have given some clarity, but also gave them a headache. In the end, hopefully, Josh will find someone who makes him truly happy. This is very messy and not in a fun way. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a burnt orange glow across the small town of Gordon, Georgia. The twilight was heavy with the weight of unfinished conversations, unspoken apologies, and unhealed wounds. In a modest home on the edge of town, Josh Efird sat at the kitchen table, the silence pressing in like an unwanted guest. His hands, calloused from years of hard work, fidgeted with a frayed piece of paper. His eyes, shadowed with exhaustion, flicked to the screen of his phone where he had typed and retyped a message more times than he could count. Each draft felt inadequate. Each attempt to express his emotions seemed to crumble under the burden of all the wrong turns they'd taken. He sighed, running a hand through his unkempt hair, and leaned back in the creaking chair. The room around him felt like a museum of memories. A cracked photo frame on the counter, a pair of tiny shoes forgotten by the back door, and the scent of Pumpkin's favorite vanilla candle lingering faintly in the air. But she wasn't here, and neither were the kids. The house, once alive with laughter and chaos, now felt like a hollow shell. Pumpkin, her real name Lauren Shannon, but always Pumpkin to him, was his wife, his partner, and his heart's anchor. They had faced the storms together, but this time the waves had been too strong. Arguments had grown like weeds, tangled with hurt feelings and misunderstood intentions. The laughter that once flowed easily had dried up, replaced by stony silences and curt exchanges. And then one day she had left, packed up the kids, walked out, and hadn't looked back. Until now. Josh's thumb hovered over the send button, his heart thudding in his chest. How do you reach out when the distance between you feels more than miles, when the silence feels louder than words? He closed his eyes, searching for the courage he needed. In his mind's eye, he saw her. Pumpkin, with that fiery spark in her eyes, the one that had drawn him in all those years ago. The woman who loved fiercely, who stood by him through thick and thin, who fought for their family even when it seemed impossible. He couldn't lose her, not like this. The screen glowed in the dim light, displaying the message he had finally decided on. Hey, Pumpkin. I know we're not in the best place right now. I don't want to pretend like I have all the answers or that everything's suddenly going to be okay. But I miss you. I miss the kids. I miss us. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I realize now more than ever that I didn't always listen when you needed me to. I should have been there for you, for our family, the way you were always there for me. If you're willing to talk, I'm ready to listen, to really listen. Just let me know if we can try to find our way back, even if it's just a step at a time. Love, Josh. He stared at the words, willing them to carry the sincerity and hope he felt deep down. It wasn't perfect, and it wasn't enough to fix everything, but it was a start. He had spent too many nights replaying their last argument, the things he should have said instead of the words that had slipped out in anger. He'd never been good with expressing himself, always quicker to show through actions than words. But Pumpkin deserved the words too. She deserved to know that he wasn't ready to give up on them, that he believed they could still find their way through the darkness. As the seconds stretched into what felt like hours, Josh's mind raced. What if she didn't respond? What if she'd moved on? He knew she was stubborn, one of the things he both loved and struggled with about her. If she made up her mind to stay away, it would be hard to change it. But he had to try. He couldn't let pride or fear stand in the way any longer. Pride was what had pushed them apart in the first place. Finally, with a deep breath, he hit send. The message flew into the digital void, carrying with it all the hopes, regrets, and wishes he'd held inside. There was nothing left to do now but wait. Across town, in a small apartment above a bakery, Pumpkin was putting the kids to bed. Ella Grace, the older of their two little ones, clutched her favorite stuffed animal, her eyes drooping with sleep. Bentley, their youngest, was already lost in dreams, his soft snores filling the room. Pumpkin tucked them in with the practiced ease of a mother who'd done it 1,000 times, though tonight her mind was elsewhere. She was tired, not just the bone-deep exhaustion of motherhood, but tired of the loneliness, the pretending that she was okay when deep down, her heart ached with the absence of what used to be. She walked to the small living room and sat on the couch, staring at her phone on the coffee table. She had avoided looking at it for most of the evening, half afraid and half hoping that Josh would reach out. Despite everything, a part of her still longed for the man she had fallen in love with. The one who used to make her laugh until she couldn't breathe, who'd hold her hand when life got too overwhelming. But could they really get back to that after all the hurt? The screen lit up, and her heart skipped a beat. She picked up the phone, her thumb hesitating as she read Josh's message. His words were raw, unpolished, but sincere. She could almost hear his voice, that familiar tone laced with uncertainty and a hint of desperation. For a moment, memories flooded back, the good times, the laughter, The way he used to look at her like she was the only person in the world. But those memories were tangled with the pain, the arguments, the sense that she was carrying the weight of their family alone. She blinked back the tears that threatened to spill over. It would be so easy to close herself off, to keep building the wall she'd started brick by brick. But something in Josh's message touched her, something she hadn't felt in a long time: hope. It was fragile, like a seed buried deep in the cold earth, but it was there. Pumpkin stared at the message for what felt like an eternity before typing a short reply. "We can talk." It wasn't a promise, it wasn't forgiveness, but it was a beginning. Sometimes that's all you need. Back in his quiet kitchen, Josh's phone buzzed, and he nearly knocked over his coffee in his haste to check it. When he saw her reply, a mix of relief and anxiety washed over him. It wasn't much, but it was more than he'd dared to hope for.